I am the hawk-headed lord of silence and of strength. My nemesis shrouds the night blue sky. Happy Yule! Happy winter solstice. Happy all sorts of things. Third day of Hanukkah and all of that. We are getting ready to finish up our, I guess, yearly excursion into the astrological ages and the magical aeons. And we're doing it right on the solstice with the magical Aeon of Horus. Of course, I've been reading from Angels, Demons, and Gods of the New Millennium. Now, if you have a new edition of this, it doesn't have this fold out included. This color fold out included. It's a beauty, but I will post a copy of this, or if you, I'll be happy to send you a JPEG of this beautiful image of the angels of the Shemhamphorush, the Goetic spirits, and the quinaries and 72 names of God and all of that. It's a gorgeous thing. If you email me or message me here on Facebook, I'll be happy to send back a JPEG file for you to enjoy and print out on your own. Anyway, so that's it for the preliminaries. I know you've got lots of stuff to do getting ready for the equinox. I'm going to be, oh, by the way, this gorgeous Horus was a gift from Lacey Birdie, a good friend. She met me at the coffee shop over here in Sacramento before she moved back to Southern California. And she gave me this beautiful gift, which I believe she made herself. So thank you again, Lacey Birdie, also known as Lon. Anyway, finishing up. The Aeon of Horus. The formula of the crowned and conquering child. Earlier, we learned that long after our Icean Age ancestors solved the reproductive mysteries, they continued to cling to a magical formula that originated at a time when it was believed that all life came spontaneously from woman and earth. So too, in the Aeon of Osiris, which we talked about yesterday, long after it was common knowledge that the earth revolves around the sun, the great religious and political institutions continued to be obsessed with death and resurrection as if they still believed the sun died every day. In 340 BC, Aristotle surmised that during a lunar eclipse, it is the shadow of the earth that darkens the moon. As the shadow was obviously round, he proclaimed the earth was a sphere. It was also clear to Aristotle that the sun did not die, but radiated continuously. He continued to believe the earth was the center of the universe and the sun and all the other heavenly bodies revolved about it. Night was just an illusion caused by the shifting shadow of the earth as the sun passed behind us each day. That's how we looked at it. Ptolemy, in the 2nd century AD, enlarged Aristotle's theory by postulating that the earth still the center of the universe, was, as it were, at the center of a glass onion, surrounded by 8 spherical layers containing the Sun, Moon, Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, and then finally the fixed stars. He did not speculate what might lie beyond the sphere of the fixed stars. And this pleased the young Christian church no end, because now they had a universe with room for heaven and hell. In 1514, Nicholas Copernicus, a Polish priest, cautiously put forward the idea that the sun was suspended in a fixed position, and the Earth and all the planets orbited it in circular paths. Nobody paid much attention to Copernicus until nearly 100 years later, when Johannes Kepler in Germany and Galileo Galilei in Italy dusted off his work and found themselves in agreement. To drive the final stake into the heart of Aristotle, Ptolemy, and the Church, Galileo in 1609 peered through his newly invented telescope and observed moons happily orbiting the planet Jupiter. This information displeased the Church very much. Galileo was accused of advancing a scripturally incorrect model of the universe. After all, if the Earth revolved around the Sun and other moons could orbit other planets, then the Earth could not be God's unique creation. Galileo was forced to disclaim his findings grudgingly. Even with the disapproval of the Church, it did not take long for the theory of our heliocentric solar system to become the unquestioned reality for all but the most isolated or mentally disenfranchised inhabitants of our planet. For hundreds of years, mothers have assured their little ones at bedtime that the sun is not is not gone. Was that a Freudian slip? The sun is not gone, but only shining on the other side of the world. It is this simple, reassuring truth that is the key to the formula of the Aeon of Horus. It is not a formula of nourishment, not a formula of life, catastrophe, and resurrection, but a formula based upon the magic of continual growth. In the Aeon of Isis, we identified with the earth. Life came miraculously from earth and woman. All magical pantheons were aspects of the goddess. Death was a mystery whose depths were impossible to plumb. In the Aeon of Osiris, we identified with the dying and resurrected sun. All magical pantheons were aspects of God the Father. Death could be magically overcome by obedience to formulae, rites, and doctrine. In the Aeon of Horus, we identify with the self-radiant, ever-living sun. All magical pantheons have become aspects of ourselves. We, like the sun, do not die. Death, like night, is an illusion. Life is now seen as a process of continual growth, and humanity is developing a consciousness of the continuity of existence that will eventually dissolve the sting of death. Now, what pantheon of gods could possibly preside over a world where every man and every woman is a star, self-radiant and co-equal to every other star in the universe? What powers or agencies still govern an environment populated by independent creative beings? The answer becomes obvious when we grasp the fact that we are running out of cosmic elbow room. When all is said and done, the worshippers of the new millennium are left with three fundamental deities. The absolutely biggest one and the absolutely smallest one, and the one that is everything in between. New Aeon devotees still worship the great goddess, but it's the goddess of infinite space, whose body forms the expanding universe. Her symbolic form is that of a circumference of a circle. She is a woman, mother, and earth, but on a cosmic scale. All that ever was and is to come is nestled within her body. The Aeon formula of spontaneous growth and nourishment has been amended to encompass the entire universe. It is now the milk of the stars, which flows from her paps. New Aeon devotees still worship the All-Father, an equal counterpart to the great goddess, but he is the universe infinitely contracted. His symbolic form is a point at the center of the circle. There is absolute equality between these two infinities, for one could not be without the other. The Osirian formula of life, death, and resurrection has been transcended to reveal a self-perpetuated and continuous resurrection. Masons will be the first to bring up the fact that in the East, in every Masonic lodge, is that circle with a dot in the center, with two horizontal lines, also, or vertical lines on the right and left also. The New Aeon devotees still worship the offspring of the great goddess and the All-Father. The conception of this child is the result of lovemaking on the grandest scale imaginable. Because the Father is an infinite in, and the goddess is an infinite out, both infinities are in a constant state of contact. This great in and out creates a friction which produces a third infinity, a child, a field of operation in which the entire universe can manifest and grow. We stand at the millennial dawn of a great spiritual liberation. It might not seem like it. Obviously, we're still struggling with the responsibilities that accompany such awesome freedom. Most likely, it'll take a long time before a greater reality is universally accepted and a new aeon dawns. Each new discovery in the fields of astronomy and physics titillates us with speculations about where we're heading. Perhaps Stephen Hawking and the great minds of our age stand as the Keplers and the Galileos of the age to follow the Aeon of Horus, an aeon that will generate a new and inconceivably magnificent pantheon of gods. And if we take Crowley's comments and certain verses from the book of the law, we can venture a guess that the aeon that follows the Aeon of Horus is the Aeon of Mot, the goddess of justice. And if Aeon of Horus adepts are given the responsibility to help usher in the new Aeon, the job, the duty of the Aeon of Horus adepts is to usher in the age of justice, the age of the goddess Mot. Crowley felt that the magical aeons can be of any length, unlike the astrological ages that are set like clockwork to about 2,600 years as the sun passes retrograde through the zodiac. Magical aeons can be of any length, long or short. Okay, that's it. I hope you enjoy your solstice time, and there's all sorts of things to celebrate. Tomorrow, right here in Sacramento, there's going to be like a solstice get-together at 418 Lodge. And you probably know 418 Lodge was originally led by Phyllis Seckler, Soror Merrill. That was her job, and it was chartered. It was chartered, believe it or not, after Haru Raha Lodge was. Haru Raha was the first local lodge ever chartered under the auspices of a Grand Lodge. So I'm proud of that. That's the charter back there. We're in a sort of state of suspension here since we moved to Sacramento, because there's a fine lodge right here at 418 Lodge. Anyway, I'm rambling on. I'm going to get on with my day. You do the same. And tomorrow is another day. Hopefully I'll be here again at 10 o'clock. Until then, continue to be good to yourself. Be good to each other. Do what thou wilt shall be the whole of the law. Love is the law. Love under will.